It would be surprising if NIP's League of Legends team didn't make it through the next LCS qualifiers. With a wealth of talent, a strong organization at their back, and a gaming house, they have everything they need to reach their potential. I sat down with FaCEIT to find out how things are shaping up. Alright, hey there FaCEIT.
Hey.
How's it going?
Pretty fine, thanks.
So first off, in this interview, to jump straight into the league questions, I think that's what everyone wants to know about with you. How are you preparing for LCS, and what are your expectations?
Okay. So we try to play every day, mainly versus LCS teams. Just only versus LCS teams. So last few weeks it's pretty hard, since there were like super weeks all the time, and we play only versus LCS teams. So lately we haven't practiced much, but we try to like fix it with a solo queue meanwhile, once the LCS is going. So yeah, pretty much every day we play, we work actually. And I feel we're pretty ready for the LCS qualifier.
Yeah, actually, speaking of preparation and stuff, I watched a previous interview you did with Travis, and you're talking about how, once you guys got into the team house, how, you used the projector to watch replays, and you're like really studying every team. Do you have, could you actually just run us through like what the preparation really looks like for your team?
I'll just run you through a basic day. So we have to wake up at 11 a.m. That's a rule. So everyone has a alarm to 11 a.m. Then we have a breakfast, or some people don't eat breakfast, so we just like chill a bit till like 2 p.m. Of course, we play solo queue before. Everyone, again, it's like a rule. Everyone has to play at least one game before 2 p.m. But since we all enjoy the game, we play like 4 or 5 games before, or at least I do. Some people wake up a bit later, like 12. Even though we have a rule. Then we start practicing versus LCS teams, and we have after 3 hours we have a break, 1 or 2 hours, depends on the day. And after every game we basically talk about the game, and if there is something we have to watch on the replay, we didn't like know exactly what happened, or if someone thought about another strategy, then we save the replay, we name it, so we have to watch it, and we watch it in the 2 hours break when we just make our food. Some people cook, some people just make a microwave food, and then we watch the replay. We as well lately we got an analyst, which he's actually helping us with a lot with game plan and strategy, and so on. Then after the food, we have like another 3 hours of practice versus another LCS teams. Depends. Sometimes we play one team whole day. Sometimes we play 2 teams. And once again, like after the scrim schedule, we watch the replays if there is a need of it, and then we play solo queue. So we basically every day we play so much.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, it does. So like, as long as you enjoy the game, then it's awesome.
Yeah, no, it sounds like you guys are really on top of things. I mean, I imagined, behind closed doors, it's very easy to actually slack as well. But waking up maybe an hour late, maybe you could call that slacking. But it sounds like you guys really have it on lock. So one thing you're talking about, which is quite interesting, is you're talking about solo queue a lot. And what do you think is what's the biggest reason for you guys to be playing solo queue?
Well, basically, we get the mechanics we need into the game as a solo queue. So like every time we go to the solo queue, we only practice our mechanics. Because it's so different in the strategy and so on as a premade team. So we basically only play for outplay. So we're trying to outplay the enemy and be better players than everyone else, and that's how we get better in individual skills. And then we try to these like skills we, for example, tried in a solo queue, we try to get it into a premade and somehow combine it with the other 4 players, and then eventually we we even try a new champions. Like some people try completely random champions you don't normally see in pre-made. So we try to test them in pre-made as well, and then we eventually like find out our pre-made picks and champions and strategies, and we make it work. So we have we basically play a lot of solo queue, especially because we're not an LCS anymore, and we have a lot of time now.
I really like that approach. That sounds pretty awesome as well. Talking about the analyst also. So, when did the analyst come in? And is there anything you can tell anyone who's watching the interview? I know maybe the strategy is a little bit of a sensitive topic, perhaps.
Yeah,
Don't want to give anything away, but
yeah, he's in tryout right now. We're trying him out how it will work out. He doesn't want to get noticed or like mentioned in a public, so we keep him secret yet. But if we agree on picking him as an analyst for real time, then we will make sure that he will get to the public, and he will get media as well.
Nice. Will he have like a spot in the house as well to kind of be coaching you guys directly?
Yeah,
excellent.
The house is actually really big. At least for me, I live in a flat, so it's so different to live with the guys in their own house. There's so much space, so we basically have like 3 more people could join us and live with us, and we are already like 7 people are there living. So that's quite a lot. And we actually planned that the analyst will come before the LCS qualification for like a 1 week or 2 weeks boot camp, and he will live with us, and we will like strategize together, because it's way better to be just together, like all people together, watch something on a big screen and then discuss it. It's way better to do it like in real time than on TeamSpeak or something. And we as well get to know each other, and it's really good. Like everyone is friendly, and we actually have a lot of fun doing this. And if if you have fun doing something, you will obviously do it perfectly, or you will do it on your maximum level. So that's a good thing to do.
Definitely. It sounds like a really sweet setup. I mean, you guys seem like you're putting in all the effort with the right approach as well. It's the qualifiers. You know, the LCS future for NIP looks really good from what I can see. Recently, you guys, of course, won the first FACEIT Invitational. The second one, you guys couldn't play, but of course, you had Gamers 2 winning there. How do you feel like you match up against Gamers 2 and the rest of the Challenger scene right now? And how's generally, how's it looking?
I can only tell from my experience. We played some teams in the Challenger series, on the Coke series. We actually played Gamers 2, and we felt pretty confident versus them. We won the first game pretty convincingly, just with our rotation and self play. Then the second game, we unfortunately had this forfeit because we were getting DDoS, but we were on our way to winning that game as well. And the third game we won actually after getting 10k behind, when they should have won with a 10k lead, but we somehow came back. So I feel like we would actually won versus Gamers 2 at that point, and we're getting better and better, and we feel confident with every amateur team to play. But yeah, I can only tell my own experience about the teams we played, because we don't scrim amateur team. We only scrim LCS team. So some unknown teams maybe are hard to compare to us, for example.
Right. Is there any team that you're having a tough time against at all at the moment?
That's actually hard to say.
So how do you feel the metagame is shaping up right now as far as team compositions, strategies, and so on?
Just today, the new big patch came out, and it completely changes the game. Actually, there are so many spells, items changed, so we have to just think about what we're gonna do right now with the champions. And I think it's completely new game actually. Like every patch is a completely new different game, because there are new picks coming out and new spells, new items. Especially this patch. The patches before were pretty easy to predict what will be OP and what we should play. But right now it's like summer spell, for example, heal have been changed. So right now I have like really high thoughts about having a heal as AD carry, because it's really broken. Just having a heal which heals more people and is actually the same amount as barrier and then higher in the late game, and gives you as well the 30% movement speed. That's like ridiculous. So I hope the LCS qualifiers won't be played on 4.5, because there are a lot of things that are pretty unbalanced in the game right now. For example, junglers can stack items, so they can solo Baron in 15 minutes. For example, like if they get Wriggles and then Spirit Stone, both items stacks in the jungle, and you can pretty much solo Drake at level 4 or do Baron at level 10 at 15-minute mark alone. You don't even need help. So yeah, I'm pretty unbalanced right now.
It's cool though, actually, because I can imagine that you guys, because you have so much time to dedicate to this, and you have, of course, like the analysts as well.
Yeah.
This should help you guys a lot. Like huge changes like this.
Yeah.
I'm sure you guys have a lot of exciting ideas for sure about how to play this.
Yeah. Right now, I just want to jump in the solo queue and try new stuff. There's so many thoughts I have to try out, and it actually gives the new perspective of the game. You know, it's like for some people, League would already be boring, but with these new patches, it's always a new game, you know. So it's always a new, and you never get bored of it, at least in my opinion. So I will always be glad to see a new patch, because then I can try new things and it will be exciting once again.
Yeah, definitely. It is great to see everything changing constantly. That's definitely the way it should be. And we've been talking about your teammates kind of like a little bit, but for those who are not let's say aware necessarily of your team and your teammates and their roles within the team and so on, can you give us like a rundown of everyone and maybe add in something for each person that you think isn't common knowledge?
Okay, so on top lane we have a Zoro Zero. He's considered as the best top laner in the EU right now, like from a lot of players actually. So he has a high ratings. He has always been good in solo queue, and he's actually the calm guy who doesn't speak that much, but does his job and does his job perfectly. So that's like the perfect player. Sometimes he doesn't share his opinion that much, but he still works on it. So it's pretty good to have such a guy on the team. He's also as well. He's like really funny, and I enjoy living with him a lot. Then we have a new guy in the jungle, Hulberto. He's a Swedish guy. I got to know him just recently, but I already have a feeling that he's a great guy. He's actually the guy who makes jokes and fun with each other. He tries to share his opinion a lot, even though he's a new guy in the team. So that's really good. And he's as well high skilled player, highly rated in solo queue, and he thinks a lot about the game. So with him and analyst together, I think we will have a really good strategy. Then in mid lane we have a new duck. So that's a guy that's already again, it's a calm guy who is excellent and the assassins play. Every time he plays assassin, he's really doing extremely well. He's carrying the team, and he has a lot of good ideas as well. He has really good, he's really good in the game. He knows what to do, what to exactly do. He knows his limits, and every time if I have a problem with anything, I can ask him, what do you think, Nick? Will I 1v1 this guy? And he knows exactly what's gonna happen, so he can tell me, and that's as well a really good thing to have on team. Then of course on bot lane, me and Mete, as self-proclaimed as the brain of the team. He's doing a lot of strategy as well. So everyone has shares his own opinion on the game, but Miffy has a lot of the main word actually in the team. He's trying to be the one who decides, who makes calls, who times everything actually, and who says, for example, we have to be there in 1 minute, we have to be there in 2 minutes, and so on. So everyone has a share on the game, and I don't really feel that anyone is doing badly or something in the game, or doing in any aspect of the game. So I feel pretty confident right now with my team.
So who's the? I mean, I always ask this, but it's funny. So who's the biggest troublemaker or the biggest troll in the team, and who's the biggest slacker?
That's really hard to say. I would say Nuke is the biggest slacker because he is always waking up late. But it's hard to say because he goes to sleep, for example, at 6 a.m. or 7 a.m. So he plays from 10 p.m. when we finish scrims. He plays from 10 p.m. till like 7 a.m. He plays solo queue. So it's hard to say he's a slacker, but he wakes up later all the time. And then biggest troll, I would say Nuke as well. His own personal playstyle is just a big troll. Like he always tries to make outplays and then troll people. For example, he spams emotes every time someone misses a skill shot or something, and he makes fun of the enemy plays as well. So he's I would say he's the biggest troll on our team and a slacker as well. I guess.
Who's the best at cooking?
Well, yeah, he sure is. Yeah, he can. I don't know. Like we have to learn Nuke how to cook. Like teach him how to cook, how to do eggs, and now he only cooks eggs and bacon all the time. So every day he has like 5 eggs and bacon, and he doesn't do anything else. So we just it's really hard to make him make his own food because then for example, Mythic cooks all the time. I would say he's the best chef in our team. Like he makes sushi and Thai food, all these kind of really good food, and then Nuke just steals a bit from him all the time.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
You should unplug the microwave, hide it somewhere, and see who survives in the house.
Yeah, that would be that would be hardcore.
Be left with 2 teammates at the end of it. All right. Okay, so moving on to real life a little bit. Actually, no, wait. One more league question I want to ask. So this is for anyone who wants to get, like, I don't know, let's say an aspiring player, he wants to be in your position, he wants to get a shot or a chance at a great team. How do you get noticed as a great player, do you think, if you're coming from somewhere unknown?
Yeah, nowadays you need to have something special in your own play style or your personality. Like you either have to be extremely good at outplaying someone, constantly win your lane in solo queue, just show that you're the best player on your position. That's how you get to know each pro player, because they will actually get to know you. They will start making fun or jokes with you, and then if they need for example, top laner, they will ask you if you have a time and if you want to do it. So you need to have something special. It doesn't really matter if it's a champion or if you will be playing the champion perfectly, or if you will constantly like outplay everyone. It's just something you need to have, and then it's really easy to get noticed.
All right, so okay, a couple real life questions now before we move things on, although they're kind of related to League, I guess. But besides League, because right now that's pretty much your entire life, what are your favorite things to do outside of gaming? Actually, maybe things that you blow some steam with whilst you're in the house.
I like to watch movies a lot. So we wanted to go as a team in cinema, but we haven't actually managed to do it yet. All the time we plan to go there, but yeah. Then it's like, oh man, I'm just gonna play solo queue and stuff. So,
wow.
Or something comes up like a tournament or something when we have already scheduled the cinema. But,
so what are your favorite movies then?
I like sci-fi. Yeah.
All right.
Some kind of alien thingy or a zombie comedy. Like.
All right.
That is like something you don't see often, or that's not normal in life. So some kind of zombie are actually the best. I really like the zombie movies. I was like, when I was younger, I was always like imagining myself how it would be in the zombie apocalypse. So yeah.
Okay. Nice. So, can you give us a top three, or because one of those movies that you described sounds like I think is it Zombieland?
Yeah, Zombieland. That's a really good one.
Okay, there we go.
Then a series, Walking Dead. They're really good. And the third one, hard to say actually.
All right, we can leave it at two. That's all right. Okay. Going on to the next question. Do you have a clock on your pro gaming? For example, if you don't get into LCS in the next year, are you like, all right, it's time to move on to something new, or is professional gaming something you're always going to strive for?
I don't actually have a clock. I always want to be in the pro gaming, and it's like, if I fail qualifying, I will just think if I should continue or not, and I will make it all over, like think about my career and then what should I do. So I will always try to be in a esport because it's like the best thing what came into my life actually.
So if you weren't doing League, what would you be doing?
I have no idea. I have no idea. I would probably I'm like finishing my studies as well now during my career. So I don't really know what to do and what do I want to do. All I know is I want to play League and be the best.
All right. So what about the classes that you're taking? Was there some subjects you're really great at? Like, what were your favorite things to study?
My favorite things was actually math, but lately I'm really bad at math, so it's changed a lot. I liked biology a lot because it was really easy. Every time I had a test from biology class, I was always like, I didn't even learn for it, and then I managed to get A mark or B mark all the time. So I like that subject a lot. It was easy for me as well. And then I guess that's pretty much all.
Nice.
I didn't really like the school. I always run fast from school to play League.
I was going to ask you, were you a popular kid getting all the girls, or were you one of the nerds? I guess that's a stupid question to ask.
Yeah, I was actually
obviously the popular kid.
I was actually like the semi-popular guy in a class before I started to play League. And then after I started to play League, I was like start to get the nerd look, like begin to learn. And I haven't attended much of events or like a drinking events after that because I always had a practice or a tournament to play. So
I know how it feels. All right, well, I think that's pretty much the interview. So do you have any final thoughts you'd like to add?
Yeah, just thanks for doing the interview with me. It was a pleasure and fun. And thanks to everyone to following me and listening to this interview and supporting NIP.
All right, well, thanks so much for the interview, Fries, and best of luck in the future.
Thanks a lot. Bye.